Hey everyone, welcome back. You're watching Insight. Right now, we are here with Foster Financial's Heather Foster to be able to bring us some financial tips. Heather, it's always a pleasure to have you here.
It's always good to be here, Tony.
Yeah, look, today we're talking about something involving a lot of changes, the employer planning. Or talk to me a little bit about what we're talking about today with what's going on with these changes that employers are implementing.
So Secure Act 2.0, because they couldn't just leave it at Secure Act 1.0. They had to throw another curveball. There's a lot of changes that went into the Secure Act 2.0. I'm only going to talk about two today, and they're regarding employer plans. And a lot of people, you're hearing about this, but a lot of places aren't implementing it yet. So the first one I want to talk about is the ability for your employer to have an option for their match and their contributions to go into a Roth account.
Okay.
So this, again, was brand new. This has never been an option before, but it was an option starting this year. But they wrote this into, the legislation the last part of December and said, hey, you can start doing it next year. So no one had actually written code on this. No one had actually implemented it because it didn't exist prior to this. So we're really not seeing very many employers offer this yet. It's something that's probably going to come down the pike. What I would recommend to the general consumer, if you want to see your employer give you the option for their contributions, their employer match to be Roth, which, by the way, would now tax you up front, because when they put money into an employer plan, it's considered pre-tax right now, so you don't pay taxes on that, what they put in for you.
Right.
If you choose for it to go Roth, you're going to pay taxes on that money as it goes in, but then it's going to grow tax-free for the rest of your life, right? So for as long as you can let it grow there. So think about asking your employer if they're, one, thinking about adding it, or let them know that you would like to see them add it as an option. I don't think that most employers are hopping on this yet, because it's going to, again, take more paperwork. They need to add as an option for employees, but it is something that is available. So ask your employer, are you, number one, adding it? And if you're not, can you guys consider adding it if it's something that you want to see? It's a great way to build even more Roth money, especially for those high wage earners that are phased out of being able to make traditional Roth IRA contributions or outside IRA contributions as well. So pretty major change. The second one.
That's just one area.
The second one is this catch-up contribution conversation. So they segmented this in a couple different ways. Number one, they said, hey, if you're 60, from 60 to 63, we're going to allow you to make additional catch-up contributions above the normal rate for people over the age of 50. So people over the age of 50, for example, right now, once you hit 50, you can do catch-up contributions in your employer plan of an extra $7,500 on top of the baseline 401k contribution that everyone else can make under the age of 50. So that's a catch-up contribution. And you can go pre-tax, or you can go Roth, you can go wherever you want with it. For those who turn 60 to 63, and this is going to start in 2025, so we got some time to think about this one. You will be able to actually put in $10,000 instead of $7,500 during those 3 years as an additional catch-up. So that's another change. But then they threw something else on there. For those who make more than $145,000, you're considered a high wage earner in your employer. So if you work for one person and you make more than $145,000, they are taking away the ability for you to do your catch-up, whether it's $7,500 or $10,000, doesn't matter, anyone over the age of 50, as pre-tax. They're taking the option away and saying, nope, you can't put it into a pre-tax 401k. The only option you're going to have is to actually put your catch-up into a Roth portion of your employer plan. So that was actually supposed to start in 2024. There was a lot of chaos about this, because you can't just have people who are on track to save $7,500 all of a sudden not be allowed to put $7,500 into their pre-tax side. So they have changed it. This just came through a few weeks ago. They have changed it, and they're going to push that out till 2026. So if you are a high wage earner and you are pre-taxing your money to get it off your taxes, you will need to come up with a plan, because that is changing in 2026. And again, it was set to change this next year, but they realized, hey, this isn't enough time for people to plan. Where are they going to put that extra money if they're not allowed to put it into a pre-taxed account? Another really good reason, though, why all employer plans should have a Roth option, because those same people that can't now put it into the pre-tax 401k, they still can do the Roth 401k portion. So if your employer plan doesn't have a Roth option, you just can't do catch-ups if you make more than $145,000. So they baked so much into the Secure Act 2.0. We only have time to talk about 2 of the things that they baked into this, and it's in regards to employer plans, but there is a lot of changes, a lot of different time frames, a lot of different time breaks of when these things are going to be implemented and shifted and changed. Make sure that you're working with a firm that stays on top of legislation changes. We say all the time, legislation risk is a very real risk in retirement and investment planning. You have to be apprised of it.
Yeah, Heather, and that's why it's important, because again, we only had time to talk today about 2 of those areas. It's important to be able to get those questions answered. So we appreciate you here today.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Everyone, if you are taking a look at your screen right now, you can find out more information about Foster Financial. Get that complimentary consultation. And again, we only had time for 2 of those areas. But if you say, hey, I have more questions, this might pertain to me, give them a call, reach out. We'll be right back.